Hi, I'm Kelsey from Coaching with Kelsey, and today we're going to talk about the building blocks of unconditional love. So, I want to start with some of the misconceptions that people have about unconditional love. Some people fear unconditional love because they see the conditions as something that protects them, either from potential emotional pain or this idea of being walked all over by other people, that people can treat you any way they want and you just have to take it. The idea here is that unconditional love would have no boundaries, you would accept any kind of treatment, and that there's no self protection involved. And if this were true, then yeah, unconditional love might be really scary, right? But this is not unconditional love. This is a form of people pleasing. And when we people please, we don't show up as our true selves. We are afraid to express our real opinions. And we cater to the needs or desires of others, even to our own detriment. And all of this people pleasing is in service of trying to control how the other person feels and subconsciously control how we feel. As an example, if they're happy, I can be happy. And any recovering people pleaser out there, myself included, will tell you that this does not work. In fact, when we are trying to control other people's feelings, try and get them to be happy by people pleasing them, on one hand, it doesn't always feel good to be people pleased. On the other hand, we are often going against what is true for ourselves, and we build up all of this resentment. So we're trying to make someone else happy. It does not end up making us happy most of the time. But this is not a video about people pleasing, right? So let's talk about what actually is unconditional love and what exactly does it look like. So sometimes when I'm working with a client and we're talking about unconditional love, I will ask them, what would it look like if you unconditionally loved so and so, whoever it is that they're having trouble in their relationship with? And they'll say to me, well, I do unconditionally love this person. But that's not what we're seeing as far as how they're showing up. They're showing up from a place of frustration or resentment or whatever it is. So this is how I like to explain the difference between love and unconditional love. Let's say that you have a sister and you love your sister, right? But sometimes you act in ways that you don't like. You show up from frustration or irritation. She's not doing the thing you think she should be doing, whatever it is, right? Just because you're frustrated doesn't mean that suddenly you don't love your sister, but you are not acting from love with your sister. So just general love is like this umbrella, right? It doesn't go away, but it's not always the feeling we're acting from. Unconditional love, I like to think of as the space where we act from the feeling of love rather than I love you, but I am acting from frustration. It's I love you, and even though you're doing something that I don't like, I am still going to act from love, unconditional love. In general, to try and keep it simple, you can think of love as being general. It is the general love we have, and unconditional love as the love that we act from. So, why is it that we can love someone but not act from love? Well, it's a part of the phrase unconditional love, right? What are the conditions we are putting on another person that determine whether or not we are willing to show up with unconditional love? Now, if we're not putting conditions on our love, then how do we protect ourselves? Because I know that there are people out there, people who are afraid of this idea of unconditional love. And I want to show you that there is a difference between conditions for love and having boundaries. And boundaries should always come from a place of love, a place of love that is for the other person, but also for yourself. You also have to unconditionally love yourself. And that, I think, is sometimes the trap that people fall into. They want to unconditionally love others, but then they end up in this people pleasing cycle and they don't know why. And a lot of times it's because they struggle to love themselves without conditions, to give themselves permission to feel that self love. Some final notes on unconditional love. You can unconditionally love someone and still choose not to have them in your life. That is always up to you. But what I want to show you is that you are the one who feels your feelings. And what I mean by that is unconditional love is as much for you as it is for another person. When you feel resentment and frustration and anger towards another person who's no longer in your life, you feel those feelings and they don't. When you feel unconditional love for someone who is not in your life, you get to feel that love. They don't even know, and they don't have to know. And this isn't to say that feelings of anger or betrayal or pain need to be swept aside. Those things need to be processed and dealt with and respected as well, because they mean something. But it is your choice if you do want to move to a different space, so just that you can feel that feeling. I really hope that this video on unconditional love helps you understand it better and helps you be able to apply it easier in your own life. If you do have any thoughts or questions that you want to share with me, please leave a comment or shoot me a message, and I would love to have more conversations about this topic. If you'd like to know more about how to work with me, you can shoot me an email or sign up for a consultation call where I can tell you more about my program, the types of tools that I teach, and we can get to know each other a little bit. I also have a Patreon. If you're already done with the videos that I have made and you're looking for extra content from me, join at the $2 level. There's going to be lots of stuff for you there. And otherwise, I will see you next time.